day 5 into my month off of work because I got really burnt out and I'm trying not to quit. And so I needed a mental health break. But you know what? I think it's well worth it. I already feel more myself and a lot happier. Like, I'm like, no, like maybe life isn't so bad after all. And that's exactly what I needed. And I know if you watch this channel religiously, you would know I'm all over the place. I blame the bipolar, but I'm so glad anytime I can dip into the more positive, happy feelings of life because I have reached the depths of hell, the bottom of rock bottom, and it's somewhere I don't want to go again. And that's why I was like, no, like I need a month off because I am going to go insane. And I just don't want to take it out on people that I interact with at work. They don't deserve that. None of them. And so I was like, I gotta I gotta focus on me right now. And I'm really hoping that within this next month I can figure out some other ways to make money because I low-key I don't want to go back. I just don't like it. It's like it's very humbling, you know, working a minimum wage job as somebody with a full ass bachelor's degree in 2 different subjects. Double make, and you know what? Why'd I fucking, and this is my fault. And there's no one else to blame except me and the lack of belief I have in myself. But you know what? I'm working on it. You know, and also, while I take this month off, I'm going to try to go to church every day because I feel like when I'm right with the Lord, everything gets better. I don't know. I went there earlier today and I don't know. There was a few times, you know, I'm just praying in my head and I just want to cry or, you know, singing a song. I almost wanted to cry listening to the lyrics or reading the lyrics. And I don't know. I really just need to get my mind right. And I'm so glad already that I already feel my head starting to clear up. I'm also trying to like fix my sleep schedule. I want to start live streaming too, but it's like, again, trying to fix the sleep schedule. I don't know. I'm like doing a weird thing with my sleep schedule. I'm like, okay, bitch, let's do 2 4-hour shifts of sleeping. So I'll sleep 4 hours and then do my stuff during the day and then sleep another 4 hours. And I don't know, maybe that's weird, but like I low key got like an Aura ring recently and it like tracks your sleep. And I realized I barely get any sleep. And I'm like, wow, no wonder I'm such a cunt. Maybe that's all I needed to do to like not have to take the month off of work. And you know what? I, I had a Fitbit back in high school too. And I used to sleep about the same, like 4 hours a night or whatever. And back then it was like, okay, or like I was able to function. But now, especially after the bipolar diagnosis, if you are bipolar, you would know. And if you're not bipolar, just know that it's really important for bipolar people to get their sleep, like at least 8 hours a night. But the thing is, I feel like I didn't realize I was getting so little sleep, and I think I've just gotten used to like sleeping that long. So it's really hard for me to genuinely stay consistently sleeping throughout the night. I do have access to sleeping medication. The only thing is like that shit will knock me out. And like it's really easy to go back to sleep even after waking up. Mind you, I will not wake up if I've had less than 8 hours of sleep while I take that medication. And most times after I wake up, I'm so fucking groggy. All I want to do is go back to sleep. And I really would like to avoid sleeping for half of the day, every single day. And you know what? Whatever. That's great if you can do that. That's probably really good, right? But for me, for the shit I want to get done, I'm like, no, I can't. So I'm just trying to do what works for me. If anything, it's about time I actually have to go do my second shift of sleeping today. But I just wanted to get on here and just be like, you know what? Maybe life is all peaches and cream. I don't know, no, but like, I don't know. I go through it and I was really, really just being super negative the last few weeks. Like, especially at work, you know? And like, people be trying me. Not really. I don't think they're like purposely trying me. It's just certain people have certain personalities I don't fuck with. And it like, I'm a really bad actress. I mean, if I was like in a movie and I was acting for that, that's a different story, right? But like if I'm in my everyday and I have to be myself for it, and there's fuck ass people I can't stand, you will know. Because it's just so easy to read on my face. I just, oh my gosh, and I'm such a bitch about it. And that's why I was like, no, girl, we need a break because, no. And you know what? There's privilege in me being able to take a break like this. I don't know. I just like have this unwavering faith deep inside that money's gonna come my way. I don't know how, but I'm gonna figure it out. And you know what? That's why I'm gonna use my time wisely when I go to church. And I'm really just gonna ask the Lord to like, please hear my prayers. Help me out with X, Y, and Z, whatever. And I feel like I am also trying to do that because sometimes I get influenced by things I see online. And sometimes online I will see shit about like witchcraft or like love spells or glamour magic, all this stuff. And I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to try that. But then I'm like, no, don't. Because I feel like that opens up portals to realms of which I don't think I should be fucking with. And opening up portals to entities that might not be so friendly. I don't know if that makes sense. And you know what? To each their own. Do what you want to do. You do you. Practice whatever spirituality, religious practices that make you, that are conducive to the life you want to live. But for me, when I really look at the grand scheme of things and look at the bigger picture, I know that that's not something I should be fucking with. And I also know that when I am right with the Lord, things just feel better. And I feel like things flow into my life a lot easier, right? And I'm just trying to pray the devil away, I guess. I don't know, but like for real. And you know what? I'm trying to convince myself, I'm like, no, bitch, it's already working. Like, I feel like, especially the face recently, I'm like, no, bitch, you've been looking tea recently. And it's like, the Lord hears my prayers. They're being answered, you know? And sometimes, you know what? It doesn't matter the timeline of it all, right? It really doesn't, because some of those things, the way they work out, are not supposed to be on my timeline. And God has his own timeline for me. Whatever, okay. Also, if you're wondering, like, what religious background I am, I'm Catholic. Yes, I love Catholicism. So yeah, I'm trying to lean on practicing my Catholic religion rather than witchcraft. No, but for real, I'm like, wait, why would you practice witchcraft when you can just call upon the Lord to help? I don't know. Like, it's like, why would you open up the possibility of, I don't know, dare I say, demons coming into your life, right? I pray a rosary every day. I be praying 53 Hail Marys every single day. And apparently the devil hates Mother Mary and seethes at the sound of someone praying a Hail Mary. So imagine you say that 53 times. No, but I'm so serious about praying the rosary. I've been praying it every day since April. Technically before that, but I don't know. Before that, like during the Lent season, there was some days that I missed, a lot of days actually. And even now, technically, if I'm really being honest, there has been a few days every now and again that I do miss, but I'm really working towards not doing that anymore and cutting the BS and really making sure I stick to that. And I don't know, one time there was this one thing I was doing at church one time, and one of the people who used to like teach me when I was like in youth group when I was younger, like before I got confirmed, I was telling her, yeah, I've been praying my rosary every day. And like, just a few years ago, I was really dealing with some really serious, really terrible, like mental illness type stuff. And she was like, basically just saying like, yeah, every time you say a Hail Mary, yeah, that's like pushing the devil away further and further. And like, I'm like, you know what? I believe it. Cause like, even if there hasn't been like super, super, super huge changes that like an outward person looking in could notice per se, but I noticed the difference, especially in my thinking, because I used to have like really bad intrusive thoughts that would play on repeat, on loop, and I just couldn't get them out of my head. And I really struggled with that. Just imagine you're fighting with your own fucking self. You're at war with yourself in your own head. Like, that shit takes such a toll on you. And like, yeah, I've been going stuff with my work stuff and like disliking it recently, but like nowhere near to the warfare I was experiencing before praying the rosary every day. But I've just like, I don't know, when I really sit down and think about it, I'm like, oh, you know what? I haven't thought about that recently. Like, I used to get really bad PTSD, especially surrounding the worst year of my life. And it used to be so bad. Every single day I would get flashbacks and I would just think about it. And today when I was in church, I was like, wait, you know what? When was the last time I thought about that? Like, genuinely. And not only thought about it, but like thought about it and seethed at the idea of it and like cringed and like got a flashback pertaining to a certain thing. And then usually whenever that would happen, in my head I'd be like, I hate myself, I hate myself, I hate myself, I hate myself. And it was so bad. The only way that would stop playing in my head is if I said out loud, I hate myself. And then like really loud. Mind you, usually when I'm saying that, I'd be in my car or like in private, but like still like it would not stop unless I said it out loud. And but for some reason that would like snap me out of it. But like it was really bad, and that was like an everyday struggle, like genuinely. And I really don't get that anymore. And I'm just like, wow, like I feel like my mind has come such a far way, and that is like such a blessing, because like really, I mean, so serious. If I would have known that sooner, that that's all it would take, that like I wouldn't even have to pay crazy amounts to like whoever, or like, go see a therapist regularly. I know I need to do that. But you know what? I just feel like sometimes being in therapy causes way more trauma to me. I don't know. I think I just haven't found the right person. And sometimes it's really hard for me to discuss some of the things I've gone through, especially with having PTSD. Like it just, I get brought back to that moment, and I just like, I don't want to go back there. I don't like thinking about that, But like truly, like praying the rosary, like I really do feel like that's made such a difference. And you know what? To each their own. You can judge me for all you want. You can tell me I'm idolizing Mary and I'm going to go to hell for that. But trust the Lord hears what you're saying. And I don't think he would like you dissing Mother Mary like that. And it's not even like I'm worshiping Mary. It's I'm praying, asking for Mary's intercession, and asking Mary to pray for me. And Mary is technically a saint. All the saints that are canonized or whatever, they're all in heaven. And if anybody is going to vouch for me, right, I would love for it to be somebody who's already done the work to get into the gates of heaven. And it's like, people always ask other people, pray for me for this reason or whatever. Why would you tell a living soul that is like way more of a sinner? I don't know. You know what? You do you. But it's like, if people are going to say that about me praying to Mary, you better not be asking prayers from anyone else. Because like, I bet you some of the people you ask for prayers for, No, I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. But all I'll allude to is you might just be getting prayers from people who aren't necessarily going to join the Lord in the gates of heaven. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, but you know what? I'm saying all these things. I'm not trying to say I'm better than anyone else for being religious. Hopefully, nobody got that vibe. Okay, right? But what I am saying is a testament to what has been working for me and helping me become a better person and get right within myself, like, because that was really big struggle, like, especially with all the mental illness stuff. Like, I've been crazy. I've been to the psych ward. I've been to the ICU in the psych ward. And I remember that shit like it was yesterday. For fucking real. And I just remember all the people, as many as I can, that were there. And I used to, like, not be able to know, like, was that a real person, or did I actually know that person, or did I make that up? Right? But then one time I Googled, like, one of the charge nurses in the ICU psych ward. And the person that I looked up actually came up. So I was like, oh my God, does that mean everybody else that that I remember is real too? Because it was insane. Oh my. And I was the worst. Like, Lord, forgive me. All the nurses that helped me out during the time, I'm so sorry. I caused so much trouble to literally any and everybody. But I don't know if they could just see where I am now. And you know what? Even also another thing to do with the whole religious thing, right? Because of my past and also the mental illness, babes, I had a lot of guilt and shame and remorse and regret towards a lot of things. And I feel like it hasn't been until more recently where I've been able to, like, forgive myself. And I think that's another reason why it's been easier to, like, move on and have less of those, like, intrusive thoughts and, like, PTSD flashbacks. Like, oh my, like, literally I would get the most vivid, like, memory of, like, a specific terrible thing I did, but, like, I don't know, like, going to a confession, getting right with the Lord, going to church like every Sunday. I don't know, it's just praying my rosary every day. Like, it's really helped out. I don't know. I'm sorry. I usually don't like talking about my faith, at least before. Like, growing up, I never really liked talking about it, just because I feel like the way I grew up learning about my faith, I learned more so to, like, care about, like, being a good person and, like, being kind and doing good things, giving back to people, helping the poor, like, all this stuff. Like, that was more important to me, because I don't know, I feel like I always had a bad perception of some of the people who would be so loud about their faith, because oftentimes they were the most hypocritical people and the most evil people behind closed doors. But, like, they talk about their faith, so that has to undo all that, right? But it's like, I don't know. I think it was just more important to, like, how you are as a person rather than just screaming it from the rooftops. But I don't know. I'm only talking about it right now because it truly has helped me, especially because I had religious psychosis, high key. I literally thought I was God. And I fell out of my faith after that because I was really ashamed, and I really thought that God hates you now because I was acting as if I was God, even though I'm not. And then I don't know. And you know what? It was so crazy because the other day I was kind of thinking about that, like, right before I headed in to Mass. And then the reading that they said during Mass, I think it was like Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 1 through 10 or something like that, I think. Okay. And then in that passage, though, it was like talking about somebody, I think somebody, like, thought they were so high and mighty and, like, God or whatever. And it's like, oh, if you think you're God, like, I'm gonna send you all the devils and demons to prove otherwise or whatever. And it was like, Holy shit. I was like, no, bro. Like, I feel like I experienced that, like thinking I am that and then being dragged to the depths of hell. Okay. And it's like, it's taken years for me to finally feel like I've climbed my way out of that. And, I still have a ways to go before I'm in a spot where I'm really like truly, truly, truly content and happy with my life. Oh, I'm fine with my life now, but there's just like so many things that I know I need to be doing and that I'm working towards. And I don't know, it's getting better slowly but surely. But like, no, but high key though, I really want to make rosaries and sell them. So I'm gonna look into that, right? Wait. This is one I've made and I've used it so like I use my rosaries like every day. This one I've used so much that like that little flower bead thing used to be gold. It looks copper. And then this has a missing rhinestone. So I don't know. I hope that proves to I hope you're like able to understand like, oh yeah, no, she uses that. No, but I really do. And part of the reason I want to use it is just so I like learn what's good, what works, how to improve it. Like if I were to sell it, because I want them to last and I want people to use them. And I have a certain vision for all the rosaries that I want. Like I really want them to have really girly colors, really pretty beads, really pretty, and not to be like vain or anything, but I want people to be drawn to them, that every time they see it, it's so beautiful and so magnetizing. Is that a word? That they're drawn to pray it when they see it. I don't know if that makes sense. Oh my God, I'm sorry, my nose. Anyways, but I don't know. Sometimes I just have to go on a rant about like the most random stuff. But I think it's really been such a blessing that I've been feeling better. And I'm so glad. I feel like I'm already feeling more myself. And I would really like to just continue, especially with the YouTube videos. Soon I want to get streaming, but I'm really trying to get my sleep schedule right because I feel like I have been a little irritable recently and I'm not trying to like snap at people commenting shady things on any of my lives. Like I really don't want to do that. So trying to get that right. And I'm also like my sleep schedule, I'm also changing it to also be able to cater once I start to go live. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm all over the place. Anyways, I just had a rant about this. Any and every time I like be talking on here, like it really does feel like free therapy in a way. And I think this also like, I don't know. I feel like it's more helpful to do this shit than like actually see a therapist. I know no one's really saying anything back. There are people who comment. I have one person who's always in the comments. I don't have their username memorized. I need to memorize it, but just know, girl, I see all your shit. I see all your comments and I appreciate you so much for always showing up and I'm so glad. But like just being able to talk out my feelings, my emotions, what I'm up to, what I'm thinking. There's a lot of power in that. And doing these videos have brought me a lot of joy and has brought me a lot of comfort, and I've also heard that it's like really good for you to like get out all your shit instead of internalizing everything and keeping secrets inside and withholding information and not like getting it out. And I feel like this is me doing that instead of just like talking in front of a mirror or talking to myself. Like, I don't know, I'd like to film it, and then the idea of being able to one day watch back on this and see how I was doing, it makes me want to keep going. And filming these videos, it really has been like a hobby of mine. And sometimes I think like, oh, these are so pointless. No one's going to watch these. But I feel like I just have to remember or remind myself that it's all a part of the journey, and that, you know, the views might not match up with what I would like, right? But I'm laying down the foundation of one day that being able to happen. And I think there is an audience out there for me. They just probably haven't come across my stuff yet. And I hope that I, you know, can be like a comfort creator for people, because I think about the people that I watched when I was younger, and I feel like I always loved and appreciated the people that were off the cuff and just like one take wonders and just like got out their emotions, even if it was sad, because like it just told me that like I'm not alone in the world. I'm not alone in my feelings. There's other people that also feel so deeply, whether that's good or bad. And that made me feel all the less lonely. And I don't know, I would just love to be that person, but for someone else, especially anybody that's like struggling and stuff. Cause like, trust me, I get it. Like, I could cry right now just thinking about it, because I would never want anybody to feel some of the ways that I've felt before, especially when it gets so serious that you're thinking about not living, you know, because that is like, I would, I would not even wish that on my worst enemy, you know, like, yeah. Anyways, I hope you're all doing great. I hope I get any better at these videos and talking. That's another thing. I feel like every time I do make a video, it's like getting out reps, talking so much that I'm developing the skills of being able to communicate better. And, you know, maybe one day I'll be able to give speeches and on a really large, big stage and not stumble under my words, because I practice talking to a camera so much. And I feel like there is a big skill in that people don't realize, because I think most people are focused on editing everything so perfectly, but it's like, okay, and then what do you do when you have to not edit it? Especially like, it's good practice for if I go live, you know? I don't know. This is a long ass video. I'm so sorry. I don't know. It doesn't matter if anyone made it this far. What matters is that I feel better just getting this out, and just knowing that maybe one day there'll be somebody who watches this that takes something out of it. You know, lean on your faith, lean on your spirituality, religion, or whatever philosophy, I don't know. But lean on whatever it is that keeps you going and that motivates you to be better for yourself and the people around you. I don't know. Anyways, I've said enough. Thank you for listening. I love you all. Subscribe to Turn Up the AC. And like this video if you can relate to it in any way or manner. Okay. You have a fabulous day.